welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing this makeup look. Now I know it's super crazy and very intense, and I know that's a lot of makeup. Well, my makeup face is the same routine. It's just the eyeshadows. I know it can be really intense, but I got an inspo from this girl. Her name is Milena Ravelo. She's only 20 years old, you guys, and she's from Brazil. Of course, a lot of Brazil makeup artists are super talented, and I'm always obsessed with their eyeshadow work, their eyeshadow techniques. I am obsessed. Every time she uploads, my mouth literally drops because that's how crazy talented she is. So I got the inspo today by this makeup look. I'm gonna show you guys. So I did twist it a little bit. She doesn't really post any videos on how she does the makeup steps, but I mean, it kind of looks like a half cut crease to me. So this is what I definitely came up with. Hope that you guys enjoy it. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and like this video if you like this eyeshadow so far. I know that it's not an everyday eyeshadow look, but in this channel, I love to throw out extravagant, crazy eyeshadow looks like this, because there is also a lot of girls who do follow me who love eyeshadows like this. So without further ado, let's get on mucho besos and let's go ahead and get started. Of course, first things first, we're going to go ahead and apply our primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Eden Primer and using my concealer brush, the F75. Save 10%, you guys, and use code SANDY when shopping with Sigma. They also have a lot of deals going on right now, so definitely check that out. And then to just blend out that primer, I'm going into a Morphe brush, but unfortunately the number has rubbed off the Morphe brush, so I have no idea what number it is. I'm so sorry, but you can use your finger or even just a beauty sponge. I'm going to be going into the Blue Blood palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics and using my Morphe M433 brush, picking up the shadow called Flourishing and placing the shade in the crease. And now we're going to be building up the intensity as much as you like, blending the eyeshadow back and forth, but keeping this color right in the crease only and buffing it in towards the outer and inner corner. With this color, you guys, the reason why I really like this palette is because you can build up the intensity and the eyeshadows blend so good and they are very creamy. And also, depending on what eyeshadow look you are creating, I normally like to start off with a more intense eyeshadow first in the crease, and then I'll build up with adding lighter layers on top and then building and building. So totally depending on what you are going for. Some people start off with the transition color first, which is a light shade. But I don't know, I feel like now that I found a different routine to do my eyeshadows, I like using darker tones in my crease first and then working it in with lighter colors, but totally up to your own preference. And I do take the eyeshadow, you guys, down towards the side of my eye, the outer corner, and then buffing it in towards the lower lash line, but only going halfway and buffing it in. Now I'm going to go into my James Charles x Morphe and picking up this green, like lime green color, and kind of what I was telling you guys a little bit earlier, we're going to start to build up now. So I'm going to be buffing this in right above the blue shade that we used first, and then you want to sit here and just blend back and forth and buffing it in. So the key thing here, you guys, is once you pick up product and then you place it onto the eyeshadow, you want to buff everything what you have on your brush, and then when you have no color left, then go back into the palette and dip some more and pat the eyeshadow in and then blend. The next shadow, which is called Blue Monday from the Jeffree Blue Blood palette, same Morphe M433 brush. I will be placing this shade right in the crease and making it a little bit more darker. And then we're going to eventually make the outer corner more darker by building up the eyeshadows. Now that's why it's so important, you guys, when it comes to using a palette, because whenever you build up eyeshadows, sometimes it can turn out very chalky and sometimes it can blend like a dream, which these two palettes are my favorite, as well as the Stacey Marie and Be Perfect palette. So bomb. So definitely when it comes to creating different eyeshadow looks with different colors, make sure that you're getting a really good palette that's going to give you that pigmentation, the creaminess of eyeshadows, and then for you to be able to blend them all together is a huge plus for me. So that's why I definitely, these are like my ride or die palettes when it comes to these more colorful eyeshadow looks. Going back to the James Charles and Morphe palette, I'm picking up that yellow, and I'm only picking up just a little bit, you guys, and buffing it in to blend out the edges. Going back to the Blue Blood palette by Jeffree Cosmetics, I'm going to be going into Undertaker, and I'm going to start to tap the product on towards the outer corner, and then I'm going to buff it in back and forth. Now this is totally up to you. You guys can go in with whatever color you want, but I kind of want to keep it in the blue green-ish vibe. So I'm going to go into the darker blue and just pat the color in. I'm still using the same Morphe M433. Now if you guys are wondering, I do use a brush cleaner by Cinema Secrets. I'll list it down below for you guys, but once you clean the brush, it cleans it off completely for you and you can use it again. That's super important when it comes to if you're going to be using the same brush but you want to use a different color, especially when I did use the yellow and the green. I did dip it in a little bit into that brush cleaner and it cleans it off and it dries it off right away so you can continue to use it. So yeah, just go ahead and buff in that color and make it as dark as you want. You can even add black if you want to, and I do buff it in towards the bottom lash line as well. Now to create the half cut crease, I'm going to go back into my Eden Primer by Urban Decay, and I'm using the same Sigma brush, the F75, and I'm going to start to cut my crease. So remember here, you guys can be very creative. You can take it as high as you want, as low as you want, whatever your little heart desires. Now it's time to apply the main color for our lid. I'm going to go into the shade called Mint Tea, and that's one of my favorite colors from that palette. And then I'm using my MAC 248 brush, which is a nice flat brush. I love to use this to apply mainly like my main lid colors on my half cut creases, just because I can get it all the way towards the crease without it going too overboard, and I feel like it really lays the eyeshadow nicely without it being too messy. Now you guys, I'm going to go back into my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm picking up the color Blue Monday Undertaker, and I'm going to start to buff out the outer corner. After I do that, I do clean my brush off and I go back into Mint Tea using my Morphe M433, and I just blend. So this is crucial when it comes to doing a half cut crease. You really want to make sure that the eyeshadows are blended and that there is no harsh line or a line of demarcation. You definitely don't want to see where it starts or stops or make it look too patchy or chalky. So just make sure that you are using the patting motion and then blending it back and forth and building up the colors again. Going into my BUXOM, this is their Call Me Hold the Line waterproof eyeliner. Seriously, one of my favorite eyeliners, you guys. It literally does not go anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and tide line my eyes, and then I'm going to go ahead and buff it in towards my top lash line. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up the color Undertaker from the Blue Blood palette, and I'm going to go ahead and start to buff out that line. And to buff that out, I'm going to go into my Morphe S28 brush. It's time for glitter, you guys. It's the fun part. I'm going to be going into my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade Distortion. Now, I'll be honest, I don't always go in with the glitter adhesive. I use my Urban Decay Heavy Metal liners as the adhesive, which has actually always worked for me. You can go in there with a adhesive glue or even a primer for glitter, but I personally feel like that moves the eyeshadow around and that really bugs me. Totally up to you, but this has worked for me. It doesn't move the glitter around. I feel like it's perfect when it's wet, and then I go in there with glitter. I'm gonna go into Siren Fantasy and then Beginners glitter. One of them, the first one is from Violet Voss, and the second one is from Star Crushed Cosmetics, I believe. And I do use a Sigma brush, the E55, and I pat the glitter in while the glitter liner is wet, and that helps it stick to the eyes. Now you guys, this might shock you, but this is Michael's Craft Store glitter. It's from the brand Recollections, and it's called Glitzy Glitter Mix. It has thicker, bigger chunks. So I'm going back into my Urban Decay liner, and then I'm going to use my finger to place the glitter. Going back to my Urban Decay liner, and it's the same shade, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the crease with the glitter, and I'm going to connect it towards the other glitter friends that we have going on towards the outer corner. Going back to my BUXOM liner, I'm going to go ahead and smoke out my lower lash line, and then I'm going to go back into the color Undertaker from the Blue Blood palette, and I'm going to go ahead and just start to buff that in. Now for today's lashes, you guys, I'm going to use a pair that you guys can buy. These are from Glam Lashes in the style Sugar Baby. This is actually a brand from a makeup artist from Arizona, Glam by Christopher on Instagram, and these are my favorite lashes from his collection. going back into the BUXOM liner, I'm going to go ahead and darken up my waterline and also going to smudge it towards the bottom lash line. And I do set both with Undertaker. Then going into What's Your Type Black Mascara from the BALM Cosmetics, I'm going to go ahead and coat my bottom lashes. And that's pretty much it, you guys, for today's tutorial for this eyeshadow look. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below and let me know. Subscribe to my channel. And if you do recreate this look, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your recreations. I love you guys so much and see you all in the next one. Bye!